Welcome to the Emotionally Baked podcast, where emotions and baking are the two most perfect ingredients. Hello, welcome to the Emotionally Baked podcast. It's going to be a little different one today. I am going to be just talking while I'm making here because it just didn't feel great. So mixing in my ingredients for my double chunky chocolate chip cookies, and this is a recipe that I found on Facebook, and it just really works out really well. And I really wasn't sure about it at first, about the instructions, but trust me, when you do this, it really works out. I will put the ingredients in the notes below. And yeah, the recipe is from the Stout Ridge Ranch, and it is your basic ingredients for cookies. And I will put exactly the amounts and everything. But the cool thing about this is that it has a couple different instructions. It has cornstarch in it, which helps make them chewy. And it's in a different way of shaping the cookie dough, which I never knew or thought about do before, so you'll see that in this video as well. So I'll just make sure to put all that information into the show notes, which means if you scroll beyond like the title of the video, you will see the extra information there. So yeah, I decided to do the podcast and a voiceover just this way today because when I made this video, I was feeling pretty depressed. And depression is a really hard topic to talk about. And so I did wait a while to work up to talking about the topic, because as I was doing this recipe, I just wasn't feeling it. And this was the true emotion that I was feeling while I was baking. I just happened to say, you know what, let's just set up the camera. Let me see what, let me, just work through this. But let me come back to the talking part. And that's kind of what I did. So that's what we're going to be doing. Depression is a real hard one for me to talk about. And I noticed as going back through all of my videos I've done, I actually haven't talked about it, which makes sense because I would have a really hard time. And I do have a hard time talking about it. And it's very difficult to really tell people what depression feels like and what it is, what it does to us on a daily basis if you do, have to deal with this in your life. And yeah, so I'm just waiting. If you're watching the video, I'm just letting the mixer do all of the hard work. I just plopped everything in there that was in the recipe and literally just let it all combine together. And that's honestly the really nice thing about recipes like this, because then you can just, you can just go with it. Anyway, so if you have never suffered with depression, or if you don't find this topic one that you can relate to, I totally understand if you don't continue listening. However, if you have somebody in your life who does have depression, if you suffer from depression, if this is something that is currently in your world, thank you for being here. And remember, there are those out there who can, who are meant to help and be there to help. And I highly recommend it if, just to talk to someone. I currently am talking to a therapist, and yeah, I needed that in my journey, in my health journey, in my mental health journey. I needed to have somebody, and I think it's just something that is meant, to be at our disposal to help us in situations when we truly, truly do need it. And for me, I will say depression was a hard one to pinpoint. And I slowly over the years noticed the signs and noticed the signs for me. And that even was really hard to admit that those were the signs that I was seeing. So my depression signs were a lot. I think that depression is definitely different for everyone, but I think the overall arching feeling is the feeling of just not wanting to be present or doing the things that you normally love to do. That was really something that kind of struck with me, and I can notice when I'm going into a depressive state, when I kind of just start to stop doing those things that I love. I stop baking, I stop crafting, I stop reading, I stop doing the things that I just really find joy in, because I'm either too wrapped up in what I am doing, or how the emotion is affecting me. I am too concerned with I'm almost too concerned with nothing, and it overwhelms me to do anything. I don't know if that makes sense or not. And all I want to do, I noticed more that I was sleeping a lot. That I was sleeping a lot and taking naps and just not wanting to participate, in whatever was going on, whatever we were doing. And that was kind of the big red flag for me. And it wasn't that, I knew that sleeping a lot meant, something, but I wasn't quite willing to address that and admit that I was depressed. And not until I just kind of stepped back to look at the bigger picture did I realize, something's going on and I need to kind of deal with it and learn how to deal with it. And I've been in these spots before, and so I do have tools in which to get myself out of these funks and to, and that's when I really try hard to get back into the things that I love that bring me joy. And I really try to, be in those moments of good. So that's just kind of, the signs that I was experiencing. So before we get too far, I want to show you here. I'm going to start, and if you're not watching, I'm going to try to explain. So the dough was different in the sense of, for these cookies, that you had some cornstarch in it and a little bit different, measurements on everything. But the big one is to shape the dough into mini cylinder, kind of like hot dog shapes. I don't know if that makes sense, but kind of like a 2 to 3 inch kind of hot, maybe more like a, I don't know, a little, just a little stone, it almost looks like I have Stonehenge on my tray, on my baking sheet. And I know that sounds weird, but you'll see here in a minute that I'm going to be shaping them in that way. And they really do end up being this really fluffy, great, chewy, chunky, dense cookie. I love it so much. So yeah. So as you watch me shape these suckers and get them in the oven, that's the reason for, that's the whole thing around these cookies and how they're just so good. So anywho, so yeah. So I have suffered with depression for a really long time, probably ever since my dad left our family. And it's kind of, it comes and goes, and I have definitely sought out help and everything throughout those times, because it's been about 20 18 years since that happened, so I have sought out medical professional help from doctors, from therapists, to all the things for my depression. And so I do have those tools in which to help me get out of those moments, and which are super, super helpful. But I remember being in it first and not really knowing what to do, and taking that step to like ask somebody or to say to somebody that I think this is what it is. I think this is depression. Putting a word to it was really scary, because it's really hard to admit that there's those really strong emotions happening and that you can't take care of it, or that you can't do something about it, like yourself about it. Like, you do need to seek out others in terms of, aid and assistance. And once I got over that stigma of feeling that I couldn't, or that it was just going to be really hard or embarrassing or whatever to, goodness, I like my little Stonehenge cookies. Then it was okay. I, got over that, and it was okay to start, to talk about it. It was okay to start dealing with it. It was okay to start, doing all the things that I needed to do in order to get better. And while I don't want to go too much into, because this is a very heavy subject, I just wanted to basically let you know that, like, it does creep up again. It does start coming back, and I am just super glad I'm at a place right now that I have the resources in which to go to help with those situations. And yeah, it comes, sometimes the waves come at times that I least expect it. And I was just, feeling very overwhelmed and very, I just could. And it's so funny because basically in this video, this is me trying to get myself out of it because I was feeling it so heavy. And this was me trying to find my joy. And I knew it was going to be tough to talk through it while I was cooking, because I was still really in it. So this is one of my strategies, is to do the things that I love. And so, yeah, so here we are. But anyways, so yeah, while depression is a super hard subject, I'm glad we got to talk about it. So I hope you try these cookies, enjoy, and remember, whether the salt in our recipe comes from tears or a teaspoon, we baked it out. Bye, y'all.